Thank you, Minister. What plans are your department putting in place to give relief to the hotel sector at this time with the ongoing energy crisis?
Internationally, tourism continues to recover steadily, yet several challenges remain, from geopolitical to economic. The combination of increasing interest rates in all major economies, rise in energy and food prices, and the growing prospects of a global recession are major threats to the recovery of international tourism for 2023. Hotel capacity, energy costs and labour shortages will continue to challenge the industry here in Ireland this year. Though the strong early recovery of inbound tourism to Ireland last year is very welcome, there are significant headwinds facing the sector in 2023. In order to assist businesses, including hotels, the Government introduced the TBES scheme in Budget 2023. The TBES is designed to support businesses, including hotels, with their energy costs over the winter months and will run until the 28th of February 2023. It is administered by the Revenue Commissioners, who have designed a special online platform for businesses to register and claim under the scheme. From a tourism perspective, I am continuing to direct very significant resources to support the sustainable recovery of the sector. I secured €15 million in additional funding for overseas marketing of Ireland. This budget also contains an additional €15 million for a range of industry initiatives, including a continuation of the investment in skills development and retention of €3 million. This provision will facilitate the continuation of work by Fáilte Ireland to address the employment challenges faced by tourism businesses in attracting talent, assisting skills development and retaining staff. My department and Fáilte Ireland will continue working with industry and across government departments to ensure a coordinated approach to addressing the labour and skills shortages in sectors across all roles. There was also a €2 million increase in funding for domestic marketing was secured to promote Ireland's tourism offering to Irish holidaymakers. And I've also secured additional funding of €3 million to allow Fáilte Ireland to continue its work in the area of sustainability. While the hotel sector faces many challenges, I am confident that the supports that the Government has put in place will ensure that Ireland's hotels are well positioned to maintain current levels of recovery and to grow sustainably in the coming years.
Thank you, Minister, for your reply. Minister, many of the hotels in West Cork are closed at this present time due to energy costs, due to overheads that they can't afford to open their doors, those who don't have refugees, and quite a lot of them in West Cork don't. And Minister, that's what I'm pleading here on their behalf. I see it myself, they're closed maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. That's an astonishing situation that we find ourselves in. And it's spreading right across to cafes, to pubs, not opening their doors. Something is wrong out there. And, you know, you said that you're putting in place help with TBES in relation to energy costs on the 28th of February. The costs are going to still be there. You know, there was a gentleman on the other day with a business. He said his electricity bill was €13,000 for that 2 months. He said his profits from last year would pay that bill, but he was shuddering in fear as to the next bill coming in the door. So what are businesses doing now? They're shutting their doors. They won't open the door. This is shocking for West Cork. It's shocking for places that are in dire trouble of aid out there, Minister. And I plead with you to continue the TBES and put further measures in place that they can open the doors at least during the week.
Thank you, Deputy. And as you're aware, I am acutely aware of the beauty of West Cork. I think I met you there when my family and I were on holidays there. And look, I'm very conscious of the impact on I suppose, the wider tourism ecosystem, those businesses you refer to. In relation to the TBES ending on February 28th, of course, government, across government, our cabinet colleagues, we are discussing what happens next and the supports that are needed with a detailed analysis. And you know, in Ireland is, I have to mention too, we are absolutely resolute in our solidarity and support for Ukraine, and we are honouring our commitment to help people who have been displaced by this horrendous war. We have never seen so many people arrive in such a short time frame, and as we have welcomed the equivalent of the population of Galway City in under a year. And you know, it's time to remember that over generations, Irish people have sought shelter and opportunities abroad, and throughout history, Ireland has also had a long tradition of supporting other nations in times of trouble, and it's the right thing to do. But my officials are engaging with a range of government departments, with input from colleagues in Fáilte Ireland, on how best to mitigate the potential impacts on the wider tourism ecosystem of the long-term use of tourism accommodation. It was never meant to be long-term, it was meant to be short to medium, because that's not just from a hotel's point of view, but also for the families that are in the hotels.
Thank you, Minister. And I do remember meeting, and you're most welcome at any time to West Cork. And it is West Cork is the tourism capital of Ireland, as far as I'm concerned. And we have fantastic hotels. And I met with the hotel sector, and the Gaeltacht, the Fernal House, the Imit Hotel, the Parkway, you know, the Skull Harbour Hotel, and the Blue Horizon in Kinsale. But the bottom line is, Minister, some of these hotel people that are running these hotels tell me that their family members are working free. They're not taking any money now because they're losing. They're hemorrhaging very badly. And their biggest worry is to keep the door open. So the only way they can keep the door open is the family members work free of charge. And so that's an unbelievable situation they find themselves in this time. And of course the 9% and the 13% VAT, which is a question I would have wanted to raise today but it wasn't taken, that's going to be a huge issue. If you don't retain the 9% VAT, you are going to see closures left, right and centre in West Cork and other counties. But the unfortunate situation we find ourselves in is that is happening anyhow as we stand. So, I see it myself. I go back today, you'll see restaurants, you'll see pubs closed in each of the beautiful towns in West Cork. Something's wrong somewhere. And they can't keep begging for you to do something about it. But I certainly think that further help is needed in West Cork.
Thank you, Deputy. And I can assure you that the government didn't put such extensive supports in place during COVID for those businesses to close now. I and my department would have extensive engagement and ongoing engagement with the sector. And as I said earlier to other deputies, myself and Minister Coveney will be convening and co-chairing the Tourism and Hospitality Forum next week to again engage and hear the concerns. And in relation to the 9% VAT rate, as I made clear to Deputy Murphy earlier, that I have always said that I'm in favour of that extension of the lower rate of VAT for the tourism and hospitality sector, that I'm acutely conscious of the challenges facing the entire sector, and I will be engaging with the Minister for Finance and Cabinet colleagues in the coming weeks.